beautiful, her size is so wonderful. Being thick has benefits, I'm not your ordinary.
Okay, we're gonna try it one more time.
It don't matter, the world knows it don't matter. Be your own kind of beautiful. She is so beautiful, her size is so wonderful. Being thick has benefits, I'm not your ordinary. It don't matter, the world knows it don't matter. Be your own kind of beautiful. She is so beautiful, her size is so wonderful. Being thick has benefits, I'm not your ordinary. It don't matter, the world knows it don't matter. Be your own kind of beautiful. She is so beautiful, her size is so wonderful. Being thick has benefits, I'm not your ordinary. It don't matter, the world knows it don't matter. Be your own kind of beautiful. If you're plus size, it don't matter. If you got curves, it don't matter. Maybe a little thick, it don't matter. Be your own kind of beautiful. Keep your head up, it don't matter. Don't be discouraged, it don't matter. The world knows it don't matter. Be your own kind of beautiful. Curvy is so beautiful, her size is so wonderful. Being thick has benefits, I'm not your ordinary cheek. I've got a lot of love to share with low, short, and nappy hair. Taking time to let you know I'm my own kind of beautiful. Think it's a sexy girl. Don't you be ashamed. You're so being thick has benefits, I'm not your ordinary cheek. I've got a lot of love to share with low, short, and nappy hair. Taking time to let you know I'm my own kind of beautiful. So think it's a sexy girl. Don't you be ashamed. You're so beautiful.
Hey everybody, welcome to Jamila Jay's Girl Talk. We're here to entertain you, to enlighten you, and to educate you. We have my co-host, Lele. You woke today?
I'm definitely up to date. It wasn't no overtime over the weekend. And what I mean by overtime, partially going from Friday into Sunday. So I have received a lot of rest.
Oh, good. Good. September was Lele's birthday, so he celebrated the whole month of September. But also it was National Alopecia Month. So we're one day off, but we're still we're gonna make people aware about alopecia. Darlene Phillips was here before, and we were just kind of making the transition into our new platform. And I wanted her to come back, to celebrate Alopecia Awareness Month, even though we're October 1st, but we still gonna do it anyway. Lay's still celebrating his birthday, so we can still.
That's right. That's right.
Alopecia Month. So, welcome to the show, Darlene, and thank you for coming back.
Yes, always a pleasure. Thank you for having me back.
Good. So I always start Where were you born, and where do you live now?
I was born in Columbia, Mississippi, and I'm now in Fairfield, California.
Okay. So you're in Northern California.
Northern Cal, yes.
Okay.
We're
That's a
halfway
big
between
difference.
Mhm.
Sacramento and San Francisco.
Yes. In
Mhm.
between. In
Yes,
between. Like, what did you say?
That's a big difference.
it
Yes.
is.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
definitely is. It's home for me now. I've been here like 50 years, so
Oh
you
my
know,
God.
it's all new for me. It's home for me right now.
So we're here to talk about alopecia. It's a very sensitive subject. I know, Darlene, you spend a lot of your time just trying to make people aware of alopecia. So let's start at the beginning. What is alopecia?
Alopecia is an autoimmune disease that does not allow your hair to go on your scalp of your head. So it's like it fights it. It thinks it's harmful. It thinks it's danger to your body. So I did a demonstration at school for first graders last week, and they was like, "So, did your body win over your hair?" And I was like, "Absolutely." Yeah, one of my
Wow.
mentors, she is um mentorees is she's in the first grade, so she was having some challenges with the students, and
Wow.
her classroom was
You have
very
a first grader that has alopecia?
yes, yes, and she has had it since she was just before she turned 2.
Oh. So is she bald? Does she wear a wig? How does she deal with that?
She is bald. She wears her bandanas sometimes. She wears her caps, and sometimes she just, she's comfortable with it. And when she's not comfortable, she lets you know that I'm going to wear my bandana or I'm going to wear my hat, or she'll start out with a hat and then she'll take it off. So it's her comfort level is, it goes and comes. But her classroom was really good about it. On Monday when I was speaking with them about it, they read a book. Um, the alopecia. My hair went on vacation, so they
Oh, that's
all
why they asked you that question.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they
wow.
knew, quite a bit about it because her mom had shared with them this book and her classroom knew. So some of the other classes that I did attend, they did not know what alopecia was at
Mhm.
first, but then they knew, but they didn't know that they knew because they would say their papa or someone else they know who's bald, or I myself has an androgenic pattern, which is male pattern, where my hair doesn't grow in the crown of my head, it grows in the back and the side. So they were like, my papa has that. So a lot
Oh,
of times people
yeah,
don't know that they have alopecia. Well, alopecia across the board is hair loss, no matter where
yeah.
it is and what form it is. Thinning hair is also considered as alopecia.
What caused that?
It could be stress. It's hereditary. It's you never know when it's gonna appear. Like I was sharing with them in the classroom, and I said, you can wake up in the morning and the hair that was on your head, you may find it on your pillow, or you may find it, while you're showering as it comes out, in clumps of, bundles of hair that they lose. So it's
So it's a male, female, and children disease.
yes, all
Wow.
ages, all nationalities. It doesn't discriminate. I say it
Is it,
goes from the poorhouse to the White House because our Congresswoman Ayanna Presley has it. So yeah,
oh, yeah, yeah.
so yeah,
So is it rare in children or
it's common in children, but
common?
normalizing it is what we're trying to do because people are not aware of how it affects anybody, and a lot of people hide behind it. And like I say, people who have alopecia don't really know that they have alopecia.
Mhm.
And, for me, I can tell on a person if they have my type that I was diagnosed, which is androgenic, it's female male pattern because you see the men who
Yeah.
who have the receding hairline and they have here or
Mhm.
they have hair that grows here. That's what I have. And
Okay.
you can see the shadows from the smooth top, you can hear the see the hair shadows that are there
Mm-hmm.
where the hair is
Okay.
growing in the follicles. But yeah, a lot of people can't tell, but a lot of people don't know what to look for.
So usually men, when their hair grow like that, they just cut their hair bald, you know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot of them do, but from the stats, men normally 35% of men normally use their hair by the time they're 30. And by the
Oh,
time
really?
50, that's, it's gone, or they have, still have some type of hair loss.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lay?
Yes. No,
Yeah.
honestly, I didn't know anything about that until recently, doing the research on it, because of her. And
Mm-hmm.
I found out a lot about it. Usually, I thought that when sisters and brothers lose their hair like that or become bald, it's um, some type of dealing with cancer. But
Mm-hmm.
that's not it. This is a whole new thing that basically new to me. And like everything else, it's always a cause. And I wanted to know what was the cause. And just like she said, it could be a nervous condition. It could be a variety of different things that cause that. It could be the food that you eat also
Mm-hmm.
that could
Mm-hmm.
cause that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Tell us about your specific situation. How long have you had it? When did you discover it was alopecia?
My hair started thinning back in 2004. So I thought it was because my hairstylist added a highlight of a weave in my hair. And after I took that out, it
Mm-hmm.
continued to thin in the top. So I started using the different hairstyles, the jerry curl, the finger waves, down to the weaves, and my hair still was coming out. So eventually, I went to the wigs, and I my diagnosis was actually in 2016, but at that point, I still didn't accept it. I just put
Mm-hmm.
the paperwork, filed it in the cabinet, and left it there. But
So did you go to a dermatologist and they said this is what you have? Yeah.
I did visit a dermatologist, and it's a specialist. It's not, some
Mm-hmm.
dermatologists can't detect what it is. They may
Mm-hmm.
detect, because of the medical term alopecia, but actually you're diagnosed. It depends on you. There's many types of alopecia there that you can get diagnosed with. There's the alopecia totalis, which all of your hair on your scalp is gone. You can have the alopecia areata, which starts with more like the diamond, I mean the quarter shape circles in your hair, and it spreads over. It can move around as well. And the totalis, which is hair all over your body. You lose all your body hairs. And then there's, of course, for the African American, and a lot of people too who wears ponytails, is traction alopecia or braids or wigs or weaves, and that because it pulls the hair from
Mm-hmm.
around the edges.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's when you lose your edges.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, in 2018, it just hit me like it's time. But I still went through the process of going back to my wigs and weaves and going back to Rogaine and doing my massages to my scalp, hold my head down and rub it so the blood flow can go to my scalp, as well as hair fibers and all those things that are out there, um, accessories that you can use. But I never really use any of those, But I did at one point. I went and purchased a shaver, for my hair, but I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't ready until I was having a gathering at my home, and I went to go get dressed. And when I got out of the shower and I looked in the mirror, I was like, today is the day. So right then and there, I shaved my head and came out and visit my family and entertained them as normal. They were surprised. They were shocked, very supportive. So
How did you wear your hair before it was shaved? You just wore wigs or what?
yeah, I wore the wigs, the weaves. My
Everything.
last part was the mostly the wigs.
The what?
I wore wigs in
Oh,
my last
okay.
session of mine, camouflaging and hiding and not accepting it and just being me, being authentically and being true to myself. Number one.
But what was the motivation of the turning point where you just said, the hell with it, I'm going to shave my head. It is what it is. What was that catalyst that brought you there?
Well, the beginning of 2018, it's in my spirit. God spoke to me and says, it's time and it's not for you, it's for the other people for you to help. And so I went through, a series of questions and phone calls with National Alopecia Areata Foundation. And I felt that this is where I wanted to be, where I needed to be, where God, the spirit was leading me to. And I had also earlier had spoke to my co-leader of my support group, and her daughter had alopecia from age 4 till about 16, and she's now 29. So from 16 to now, she has um, she has hair. So we had connected and talked about that. So it was more of me just researching, doing my own research about alopecia and what it was. And when I reached out to NAF, ask them questions. And there's a package that they give you to be a support group leader. So I got
Mhm.
that package, read over it, completed it, and set it aside, for some time. And then I went back to it, and then I called them and asked them some questions that I had. And so she said, "You do have alopecia areata," and I was like, "No, I have alopecia androgenic."
Mhm.
And so she said, "You knew that this foundation is based on alopecia areata," and my thinking is alopecia is alopecia.
Right.
So their foundation is based on the one diagnosis of alopecia areata. So, and I said, "Is there a problem?" And she said, "Well, let me talk to my manager." And I said, "Okay." She said, "I'll call you back this afternoon." But she didn't call me back that afternoon. She called me like the next day, and she says, "Well, we're
Mhm.
going to allow you to be a support group leader. But one of the conditions was that I would have someone that I was caring for that had alopecia areata, or someone in my group that had
Mhm.
alopecia areata." My co-leader Loretta, we had already talked about it. So I said, you know, I'm going to ask her to be my co-leader. And she has been there for me, and we're almost 3 years now. So that's how that came to be. And I asked her, I said, "Well, what did that look like when you talked to your manager?" And she said, "I didn't talk to my manager. I just felt in my heart that this is something that you wanted to do."
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
said, "Well, I'm sure I can find someone to, fill that condition, as well as I want to be able to support more than that particular diagnosis.
Mhm.
Any type of hair loss, where it was cancer, or even if it was by choice,
Mhm.
because there's support needed across all of those platforms, and they allow me to do that. So
Yeah.
that's where I am now, is, supporting whoever needs it.
Awesome.
Is there any cure for it?
There is no
You,
cure for it.
you would come and go.
Research, the research is still continuing. Um, yes, it does come and go. There's
Mm.
some, like the Ariata diagnose that they have. You can lose your hair, and it can grow back, and
Mm.
it can. People who know and have been educated on it know that they can lose it all at any given moment. There's no warning for it. It just, you may wake up in the morning and you don't have it again. And that's the emotional part, and the part that people really get stuck on. They get depressed on. And
Mm.
one of my parents of one of their son, he was going through his third round of it, and he said, I just think he's just getting deeper and deeper into it, because he's not responding, when they talk to him. So I had some videos of some young men that are coming up who have now who accept it and are moving forward, into their life and enjoying their life with alopecia. So I, sent him some of those, and I said, you can choose the one that you want to send with your son. But it's hard on parents too, that
Yeah,
they
yeah.
try to make everything right, for their child, and sometimes they make the wrong choice. Like my co-leader, her daughter says, I wish my mom would have just left me alone because she would always put a bandana on her head. So she had to go
Mm,
not only being bald, but then wearing bandanas and then going back to exposing her head as bald, again. So I mean it can be very challenging for
yeah.
people.
Is it more common in the Black community, or is it just basically across the board?
It's across the board. I mean, it doesn't
Across the
discriminate
board.
any nationality of, anything. It's just there. It just happens.
Mm, yeah,
No
yeah.
warning, no, like I had a warning that basically my hair was thinning, but I didn't know at that point, 2004, 2005, I didn't even know what alopecia was.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I said, I thought basically it was a form of cancer, but that is not the that is not it. I think
Mm,
it depends on. I think that it could be managed. It depends on the state of mind that a person in, because it seems like if you have a nervous condition or you're not balanced mentally, then you might have that problem. But this is why a lot of people do yoga, because yoga balance a person out mentally and physically, and it get them away from a lot of things that will cause certain frictions to their body or mentally.
do
Well,
you think stress may be a
when we're
cause?
looking at the babies,
Yeah.
coming from a baby who doesn't really have a care in the world, you know. So stress could do it, but we don't really know what causes it. There is nothing that's been medically said that this is what you do or what you don't do to get alopecia. There is nothing that your body just all of a sudden, it's like, it's an autoimmune disease. It's like lupus. You get that, you get vitiligo. And sometimes you have one, you have two. I have vitiligo,
Hmm.
that runs in my family too. So it's easy to
Yeah.
have two. My mother had lupus. So again,
Hmm.
it's hereditary. It could be something that they have had through the years that would cause it, but it hasn't been scientifically stated or written or anything on that as of today.
As a stress as a factor of having alopecia, it does not matter, right? That's what you're saying.
A lot of people are saying
Stress
stress.
is a
I don't
factor.
know. I don't know if I was stressed at that point, but I, when I first started losing my hair, I can't really pinpoint it to a
Mm,
thing that when it happened at that point. But a lot of people they can't really pinpoint why it happens. And like I
mm.
say, when you're a child, and like the little girl that I mentor, she's 18 months. You know,
Oh my God.
so there is, what
Hmm.
when you think about it, I'm not saying that she can't be in a
Right.
type of stress,
Yeah,
but
but child shouldn't. Yeah.
normally, you know, a child before they reach the age 2 is not really. They might be stressing their parents out. Approaching that
Yeah.
terrible too,
Terrible too. Yeah, we'll do
as they
that.
say. But
Yeah. Yeah.
and I don't
Yeah.
even like to use that a lot either. But that's what they call it, the terrible twos. But
Yeah. Yeah. Like you said, you think stress may be a factor?
Yes, the way she was explaining it the first time,
Mm.
um, stress is one of the factors.
Hmm.
And if that's the case, usually a lot of people will practice yoga because of different things as far as stress and
Mm.
being emotional or anxiety, and when you practice yoga, yoga will balance and calm you right out. And this is why I'm just saying, just by hearing her and what she's speaking about, I figure if a lot of sisters and brothers will get involved in yoga,
Mm.
you know, um, it might help. You got to understand everything is not medication.
Right.
Sometimes
Right.
a person could meditate and it be more effective than medication.
I was just going to say something about meditation in terms of relaxation and bringing that stress level down. You
Mhm.
know, so,
Yeah. Well,
meditation is good
if
too.
you study history, a lot of people used to meditate. A lot of the prophets, Jesus used to always meditate.
Mm.
Why did they meditate? Because meditate relieve all your anxiety, everything that affecting you mentally, and it
Yeah.
relieves that.
Yeah. All right. Let's see if we have any questions from our audience. Let's see. Let's see if I can do this. I can. I can't ride a bike and chew gum, but I'm gonna try. All right. We have. Let's see. We have. We have Sky. Lady, you want to read that?
I can't even see it. My phone is kind of small. I'm not on my computer.
Okay. Let's see. It
Um,
says. Okay. Okay. I'll try.
Yeah.
When sisters got weaves in their natural hair, will this also call alopecia?
It could because it's pulling strain on the hair. It's stressing the hair
Yeah.
out. So it is form of what they call traction when there's
Hmm.
braids as well. They do when they take the weaves out, it pulls hair out, and
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like some of it's self inflicted. So
Yeah, but that was my question because we love our weaves, we love braids, cornrows. That's all pulling the scalp, and that's why I was just wondering statistically if black women or had more alopecia than the other races. Yeah.
I don't know of any stats or statistics on that as far as
Okay.
where the majority should, lies who has it the most. But
Okay.
I know it's all over. It doesn't,
Yeah,
it
but
can't
white
say,
women wear weaves too
oh
and
yeah,
braids too.
they
So
and
yeah,
they wear ponytails. They pull their hair back a lot.
ponytails. Yeah, yeah. Okay, let's see if we have any more questions. Okay. All right. What about gel and leave-in conditioner? Does that help? Or I know that gel is not good for your hair, but what do you say, Darlene?
I don't know. I didn't wear a lot of gel in my hair. Um, so I don't know about, leave-in condition and that. I don't, it may affect it because the scalp, if you put that on your scalp and if you're not cleaning it or, getting it all out, it still might
Hmm.
because um, I can't remember the name of it that affects the scalp, the medical term for it, but it does
Okay.
like affect the scalp. And that's why I said, my thought is that hairstylists should be more educated on the scalp and
Yes.
looking at the scalp and warning their customer, client what's really going on because who really looks at, the back of their head, the top of their head,
Exactly. You
and that,
can't. Yeah.
right.
Yeah. I think leave-in conditioners are good though. But gel, that's one of the things that'll take out your edges is a lot of gel. See, let's see the next
And
one.
tube, and then especially if you're brushing it, you still put
Yeah.
uh, straining on your hair as well.
Yeah. Yeah. It says, in Barbados, many women shave their heads and many men find it sexy.
Woo-hoo! All right.
Let's get a ticket to Barbados, huh?
Yeah. And then by some of my research, I did find out like a lot of like 48% of the women in Africa, they, they have alopecia because they don't like dealing with the texture of the hair, and that's
Mhm.
a lot of people actually it just when they comb it, most of it comes out, and they shave it off or leave it, or normally you'll see a lot of it that's short
Yeah.
hairstyles for them.
Okay.
Well,
Good.
a lot of them sisters in Africa, what they do, they will use all the products that the Europeans use. And you got to understand, our texture as hair is different from other
Mhm.
people.
Yeah, totally
You know what I
different.
mean? A
Yeah.
lot of nationalities use chemicals and stuff in their hair that basically is not good for the roots or the nature of your hair. And if you
Yeah.
constantly using it, then what gonna happen? It's gonna tear your hair down. It's gonna tear the roots out of your hair.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
had
If back at the time when sisters was using makeup and all of that all that product for the
Relaxers.
hair, it was
Relaxers.
natural. No, it was natural. Anything that you use natural that come from the ground, it's gonna
Yeah.
help it grow.
Mhm. Yeah.
once
But if
I
you
had
use
my
chemicals in it and you use chemical for a certain period of time, what the chemical gonna do? It's gonna kill the roots of your hair.
Is there any correlation with perms or relaxers that you
uh,
know of, Darlene?
well, chemicals, more chemicals. I mean, I have read that that could be, it's a type of hair loss. So it's alopecia,
Mm.
that part. But a story that I just was going to share is he was talking about, um, we as African American, my neighbor that I lived in San Francisco, she was a hairstylist, cosmetologist. So I was her model a lot. So she would wash my hair frequently. And when I went to my hairstylist, she goes, "You can't be getting your hair washed that often because it dries it out because of the texture of your hair." And I never
Mm.
knew that. So I was enjoying the head wash, the massage, and all that, and
Yeah.
realized that
Yeah.
I couldn't, like twice a week, or 3 times a week, she'll
Oh
come
my God.
and we'll do like a hair wash, or so
Mm.
like we can't do that as often.
No. Mm-mm. All right. Let's see what she says down here. It's like a paragraph. So let's see.
She said, "Okay."
Let's see. There we go. All right. So I work with, oh, she says she works with Ayanna Presley.
Okay.
And and she represents freedom of choice. And the young people in Boston support her endeavors of promoting community awareness on alopecia. So that's good.
Yes.
Mhm.
Well, she
She's
was.
so pretty bald. She looks really pretty bald to me.
We had an interview with her, the Ball Life magazine, and she was on the cover of the one August last year. And in an
Okay.
interview, she was saying that she just couldn't go forward anymore because of the younger girls and ladies that were, was admiring her and, just fall in love with her. So she said, I couldn't be fake with them, anymore.
Yeah.
Having
Right.
people, for in her status where she was, it was just amazing. Her story was great. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, in the magazine, she talked about how I think it was one of the meetings she was getting ready to go to, and she got up in the morning at 5 o'clock in the morning to go get her hair styled and to make a
Wow.
press conference. It was a press conference, so
Yeah. She doesn't have to worry about that anymore.
right, right. That's why I say it's from the poorhouse to the White House.
Yes. 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 Um, so Larry coming in over here. Actually coming in. Let's see.
Again?
Okay, there you go. All right. I was just saying it was like you were coming in on a different
Yeah. Well,
on
I
your
was on
computer.
my phone. Now I'm on my computer. That's what I was working on, trying to
Okay.
my
Okay.
my laptop and stuff up. Now we good to go.
So you can read. So so Darlene, you've been on television, you're an advocate. Can you tell us about some of the how you're getting the word out about alopecia? You've been on here twice. You're in my magazine. So what how are you getting this word out? Because I think a lot of people don't know. They, men, women, and children, we don't know.
True. Well, I do my alopecia support group, and I have those about every other month.
Mhm.
And there are, people all over. We used to be in Solana County, but every, from across the state, across the country, they join, and, just supporting them. We did do the television thing last year, Channel 10, and they picked up on the story from the newspaper. This year we had a newspaper article. Also had a couple of fundraisers and awareness booths out. And then last year we had an opportunity to share with Jada Pinkett on her to be a support with her on the Red Table Talk show. So, and
Okay, let
it's
me bring that up. I'm trying to bring it up. Stop there. Give me a minute. Okay. Yeah, I want to bring that up because last time we didn't have opportunity to see it, so we
yeah,
got that now, and I want to definitely show it. Let me get that on here right now. All right, let's see. We have two clips of that, and I'm wondering where you are. I think I see you, but you can tell us exactly where you are. How was being involved with Jada Pinkett Smith on this alopecia? Because
it was really,
she has it, right?
yes, yes.
Okay.
It was an experience of a lifetime. I know when Jamie Airmore, the chief and editor of Wildlife magazine, when she had called me, and she was like, "Well, I just want to let you know," and they were having it in Seattle, and I said, "Well, I want to be there." So I said, "If I got to
Mhm.
come to Seattle, I'll come to Seattle." And then I was after she had, we had talked about it, and so she said, "I didn't want to leave you out." And when I went back and I called my manager and I said, it's an emergency, but it's not an emergency. So I told her, I said, I'm going. I'm just letting you know I'm going. If I have to go to Seattle to meet with everybody, I would. But then it turned out that they were able to have more people on the audience than they had that they initially started with, because they wanted 10, and I think it ended up being, I don't know, 18, maybe 20. I'm not sure what the final count was, but it was just to surprise her, because she knew nothing about a group or anything. But she had gotten an email, text from one, and they wanted to join the Ball Boss movement group. And then she was like, I would have to join. And of course her daughter was there, and as you can see on there, and there's moms and kids that are on there. So it was just part of an experience that I never thought I would be able to be a part of.
And
But
let's show it right now.
This
okay.
is our bald boss movement crew right here.
Y'all sexy or whatever? Yes. I love it.
So this is our bald boss movement crew right here.
Y'all sexy or whatever? Yes. I love it.
So
Where
Yeah,
are you? Are you rubbing your head?
I
You're
sure
like,
did.
oh,
I sure did. That was
sexy, and I know it.
sexy and all.
All right, let's watch the other one. Let's watch the
Oh,
other one.
Darlene, look at you. You gotta say hi to the
Hi, ladies.
the ball. That's our bald boss movement over there.
Look at Willow.
I know.
Look at you.
Darlene, look at you. You gotta say hi to the
Hi, ladies.
the ball. That's our bald boss movement over there.
Look at Willow.
I know.
Look at you.
Darlene, look at you. You gotta say hi to the
Hi, ladies.
the ball.
So was that a a life-changing moment for you guys?
It was to be able to support her. And after the slap and all that, my whole thing was, no matter what everybody say about who was right, who was wrong, was it right? No, I don't condone violence, but it piqued people's interest on what it is, to do some research, to check into it. And my thing is, that was a great thing for in sharing it and getting it out there so people would know what it is, and they can also know some of the depression moments and the emotions that comes with the hair loss.
Yeah,
A lot of people think it's just hair, but to what society has us to believe, that for a woman, hair is what makes us, and that is not true at all.
yeah, yeah. That was before the slap at the Oscars, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah,
This was
that was
last
before
August
then.
when we
Oh,
had.
that was August
Yeah,
2021 or
yes, August 21. Yeah.
21.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
just being all hush about it, it was like, it was exciting when we finally got to share it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lay?
Yeah, I don't think Jada Pinkett knew it was so many sisters out there like her. When she seen that, she really, really exploded.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
And that's the way I feel too. The more I'm exposing it and being the community, the alopecia community, I'm finding out there's so many people out there being a part of the, support groups that are online. And it just like blows my mind. Here I am thinking that I was alone with this, and to find, you know, see people out there that is really embracing it. There are some still that is living with alopecia, and it's not a good, they're not in a good place. But as we continue to normalize that alopecia, it's a normal thing for people now. People,
yeah,
it's not good to have cancer. It's not a life threatening, disease, or it's not, you
mhm,
can't sit by me and get the disease, or it's none of that. So we are just as human. We don't have cancer. There's nothing else wrong with it. Most people with alopecia have a healthy body, you know,
yeah, yeah,
but yeah, it's not a good feeling, when you're going through the process to really accepting it, and that. And I still have my moments where I
mm,
wish I had hair, but I don't allow myself to stay in that place. You know,
right,
think
right.
positive and this think, and I think about the people that I have helped, um,
Mm,
so that I know that in encouraging them, I'm encouraging myself to still be
yeah,
standing my truth, and I'm
yeah,
okay, and I'm okay with that. You know. And as my emotions come, I take those emotions and I deal with them. So
yeah. I have two comments. The first one is about Jada Pinkett. It was really nice to see her daughter shave her head and
supportive.
just support her mother. And then the second comment is, I can't imagine you with hair. I
Me,
just wondered how you look with hair because, I've seen your pictures and you're so beautiful. You
oh, thank
know,
you,
I,
thank
I just,
you.
I don't know. It's to me, being bald headed is like you're bad. How do I say it? Not like I can handle anything. I'm tough. You know, and nothing can get me down. That's kind of how I see it. But it brings out the features in your face. That probably if you had hair, you wouldn't see those features. I just can't imagine you with hair.
I know. I've heard some people tell me that you're just hiding your beautiful face behind all of that
Yes.
hair. And I don't
Yeah.
see myself going back to wigs or we. I mean, but I know I have that choice. And then
Mhm.
with the winter time coming, and even the summer times, I just know that I have to have something on my covering my head. If I'm out in
Right.
the sun too long, at least sunscreen. Then the wintertime, I just have to wear, my wraps and scarves and caps and whatever.
Do you ever just put on a wig just for the hell of it, or just
I have not, since I took it
never,
off on December
never,
8th
never
of
look back?
2018. I have not put a wig on my head.
Listen, honestly, I
Honest,
think
huh?
I said I think a lot of them sisters that have bald heads look so sexy.
You think it's sexy? Well,
So,
maybe
so sexy.
Barbados. Here we go.
I know, huh?
No, no, honestly, the other night I was out, I was at a Republican convention, and I ran into a sister. She used to have a whole lot of dreads,
Mm.
and somebody ran up on me and grabbed me. When I turned around, she was a sister with a bald head, but she had a whole lot of dress. She said, "Lane, Lane, Lane." I said, "Well, who are you?" She said, "I am so and so and so." I said, "There's no way."
I
She said,
recognize her.
"My hair." Then it started dawning on me who she was. She's a black activist, and she's very powerful in the community. And she got all her hair cut off, and she looks so sexy.
Wow. Wow.
I do remember a couple times where my sister-in-law, she had cancer and she was losing her hair, and she called me and um, to tell me she was losing her hair. So I, comfort her and console her. And at that point, I was like, well, maybe I should just shave my hair off and say I'm supporting her. You know what I mean? But that's not, I didn't have the courage to do it at that point. But,
Right.
and that's with everybody, you have to go through the process of when you're ready, you're ready. And if you're not ready, I don't suggest you do it, because you're not gonna stay there. And
Right.
just to be able to go back and forth. And there are some people that are comfortable with it. Some people are comfortable wearing their wigs or whatever they want, and others aren't, But
Yeah.
I'm free, for that, and freed myself from that, and freed myself from, having to sit in the salon for hours and, make appointments.
I
So,
tell you what, y'all. I tell you what, y'all saving a lot of money
I
now.
know. I said to a friend of
Mhm.
mine, I said to her, I said, God knows what he knew what he was doing, because right before COVID, you know, I didn't wear a wig. When I wore a wig, I would always get it styled. So I never wore a wig unless my hairstylist had styled it, because I liked the short tapered look. And I
Uh-huh.
said if I would have not had someone to cut my hair, I don't know what I would have done. When all
Mhm.
the hairstylists salon was closed down during COVID. I
Yeah,
said,
that's
she said you
true.
would have been
Yeah.
out there on the news talking about woman wants to get her bald woman wants to get her wig done or something like that. And I was like,
That's
yeah, that would
true.
have been me. I said, yeah. So he prepared me beforehand.
Yes. But you know what, bald, I think we talked about this before. Bald, it seemed like it was trending for a while. I think Tiffany Haddish, Tamar Braxton, the other Braxton, I think it was Tawana. They all kind of went bald at around the same time. So it was like bald was in.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's in for me.
Yeah.
And a lot of brothers and sisters, and even the kids are getting into it. So, and we have the NAF has a few young preteens that are just being advocate and just being free with themselves. So, and it's all about how they're taught, what their
Yeah.
parents are teaching them. And I know the parents of Izzy that I support here locally, they tell her, that you're beautiful, and they encourage her to do things, and they let her have do what she's comfortable with.
Yeah. Yeah.
But her middle sister, she'll tell her right then, and people looking at, she doesn't need hair. She's beautiful anyway. She was
That's
so
confidence.
that it is confidence. I'm so proud of them and the way they
Yeah.
teach and encourage her and stand up for her. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's see if there's any more comments. Lay, you ready to read? I don't have to squint and look all in the
Yeah.
camera. And all right, what this say? All right, let's see. Here we go. Uh,
We already read this one about Presley.
yeah, I'm trying to go to the next one. It's yeah, okay. Oh, shoot. Here we go.
Hmm.
All right, let's see this one. Okay, go ahead.
Her spirit is beautiful, and she is the most gorgeous representative we have.
Oh.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
Sky Darling, Dr. Phillips. Website. May I learn about promo and education to the public domain?
Who's that?
That's Sky Darling.
Mhm.
Okay. Was that a question for me?
I believe so, yeah.
Who is Dr. Phillips?
Darlene. She's referring, Darlene is
I'm
Dr.
Dr. Phillips. Okay.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
what was the
you know.
question? Let me see if I can see it.
Okay.
What website? Oh, okay. We're I am Alopecia SH 2020 at yahoo.com. That's my email address on that. We don't have a website yet, but NAF, you can go naf.com. .org. All the information is there about alopecia areata, but it's so much of the same for any type of alopecia. There are support groups that are out there. There's research information that you can see. There's webinars. There are a lot of webinars that are coming up. I'll be sharing those.
Okay.
Then there's just anybody can get materials that they want. They'll be happy to send out you pamphlets, and there's a host full of pamphlets and what you should know, how coping with it as a parent, coping with it as a kid, in our schools and our communities. So there's a abundance of resources, and there's doctors that are out there that we can reach. I know the one for our group that's assigned. She has alopecia herself. Actually, she's Dr. Fu is the one who gave me my diagnosis. So she's assigned to our group as well as she's on the research team to find a cure for alopecia.
Mm, okay. Good, good. Let's go to just another question. Okay. See. Hello, I just want you to know I'm starting at I'm staring at all of you intensely while you oh my God, who is this fool?
Say what?
Somebody stupid. Michael Perry, he's really
Oh God.
stupid. Hey, do you, okay? Leave us alone. All right. I'll like the song from In Vogue, Free Your Mind, and the rest will follow. Thank you, Dr. Phillips, for being a positive leader. All right, all
Oh,
right.
I'll take that, doctor. I don't know what God's going to lead me to, but I'll take it.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh.
So, is there anything you would like to tell us about alopecia? And can you give us that website again? Is NAP, National Alopecia? Oh,
NAAF.org.
okay,
N
NAFF.org.
National Alopecia Areata Foundation.org.
Okay,
NAAF.org.
okay, got you, got you. What do you want? What would you like our audience to know about
Well,
alopecia?
for me, I just, go with the process. Take one step at a time. If you have to step back and just review your options. Know who you are, who you want to be, and things that come to us in life. It's not things that we ask for. It's not easy sometimes to deal with them, but
Yeah.
there's all, like I say, I never knew that there was this many people out there that has alopecia. The support groups, the people who are willing to invest in you, to encourage you, to educate you, to motivate you, to inspire you. To partner with you in this, because it is a partnership that's required. You know,
Mm,
not to stand in it alone, not to be by yourself, because we're out here to support, to help you along the way. And we all want to live a luxurious, happy life. We don't want to see
mhm,
people who are depressed on something that they can get help for. And a lot of people are not going to move forward until they're ready, till the pain gets so bad that they want to go get help. So, just to let you know that we're here for you, we're here to support you, we're here to partner with you, and to give you information.
What are those numbers like? You said there's so many people with alopecia
Ooh, that's
in the United States. What
6.8
is it?
million. That
6.8 million?
And this like 1 out of every 1,000 people has alopecia in the US.
Wow.
43, and those numbers are old, to be honest with you. And that's
Yeah.
I'm thinking those are the numbers that are just for people who have really gotten a medical diagnosis, but the people who don't
Mm.
even know that they have alopecia,
Yeah,
those
yeah.
people, and those were, I mean, I would couldn't imagine truly people out there that are dealing with alopecia. Yeah.
But you know what? I don't ever hearing like in my mother's generation anything about alopecia. Um, Maybe because they got the press and curl, they didn't have the wigs or the weaves. You think? I mean, is it
Well, for
something like the
me,
last decade or
my dad had alopecia because he
yeah,
had the
no
same
man.
style that I have. But for women, there's women who have hair thinning, and I've seen, my mom, my grandmother, and those,
Mm,
they wore the wigs, but it was like it was unknown to them that this is really what it was. And I hear a lot of people say that it's because of old age, but that's not the case. You can
mm,
get it at an older age, but like I say, you can get it as a baby. You know,
yeah.
so
Wow.
it's just awareness and to normalize it, like cancer, people know what cancer is. And it's because people are not putting the information out there. I never knew anything about, but it's been out there for years.
Mm,
Just to, let people know that it's here, and like it's what caused it. It is what it is. And people
yeah.
don't know that alopecia is what they have.
So you're saying it's been around a long time.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. I never, I guess I just never knew about it or heard about it. I know, men go bald, but I
Yeah.
probably, yeah. I was just trying to think like my mother generation. But there was women who wore wigs, so they probably did have
Right.
alopecia
Right.
and probably was never diagnosed or just didn't know about it.
I mean, like I was growing up, even I'm 65. When I was growing up, we didn't go to the doctor that much. We went for our
No.
immunization shots, and mom and grandmother
Yeah.
had some, concoction of medication for us, so we didn't go to the doctor, and that kind of like stayed with me as I,
Mhm.
seeing my physician, and he telling me that I have some form of alopecia, but he's not the one who to give me that particular diagnosis. So it was like, it is what it is. But when I
Yeah,
finally decided to go, I was glad that I did, to find out this is what it is. And at that
yeah.
point, you know, 2018 is when I really started doing my research.
How long did it take you to go to the doctor, really to get diagnosed? I mean, you said it was 2005 or 4?
2016 is when I got my diagnosis, but my last physician, well, not the last one I had, but the one that was talked to me more about it, and that was in 2008, maybe, that I knew I had some type of hair loss, some type of alopecia.
Wow,
So from 2008 to 2018, that's 10 years of,
10 years. Yeah.
yeah, of
How long
knowing
did
that.
it I'm sorry, go
Go ahead.
ahead. No, I was just gonna ask you, when did you start losing your hair?
It was like about 2004, 2005.
Okay.
Hmm.
And it took you maybe 3 or 4 years to go to the doctor, then yeah, wow.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
But
you've been
he,
on a
he would
journey.
ask me all the time, "Are you ready?" And I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to
Mhm.
actually find out what it is. But like I said, in 2016, I was ready, and I got that and filed it away.
You still see, well, I see women on Instagram and the top is bald, and then, they have hair around, probably the same type you have. And then all of a sudden, they do their magic and voila, you know, they have hair. So that's, like you said, when you're ready, you're ready. But
Mhm.
to each his own. They're beautiful too.
They are,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I accept it. Like people would say that you have the perfect head, and my head is this or my head is that. I wouldn't look as well, but like if you're bold enough and
That's all it
courageous
is.
enough to do it, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Just to know that this person is free. That they
Right.
can be authentically themselves and stand in their truth, and help others.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Leigh, you have any questions or comments? We're gonna wind down a little bit. This has been a very interesting conversation, and I'm so glad that you came back. Even
Yeah,
though it's October 1st,
I know. It's okay.
we can celebrate like Lay. We could just go on to September, October, just keep, there's
We as
not a time
alopecia,
limit
we
for
we
knowledge and truth.
we deal with this 365 days a year. So bringing
Exactly.
awareness is, it's daily for us.
Right, right,
But
right.
yeah, I
Yeah,
have to send you a
definitely.
picture next time of my before and after.
I want to see you with hair. I want to see you
Well,
with hair.
you
I
won't
can't
see me.
imagine
Well,
you
I
with
have
hair.
pictures of me when I was younger with hair, but with my wigs and my weaves on. I'll have to send you one of those.
Okay, all right. I want to see it. Lay, go ahead.
Yeah, I definitely commend her, salute her, and definitely for enlighten the community and younger brothers and sisters
Mhm.
of what's going on.
Yeah,
Why they might be in the position that they in and don't know why.
Exactly.
So it's definitely a wake and call for a lot of people,
Yes.
and that's good.
Yeah.
As
So
far as the hair is concerned, listen, you look good without it.
thank you. Thank you.
you're
Appreciate
beautiful. You're beautiful. And you know what? We don't. I have to say, I don't like going to the doctor unless I really have to. So going to, maybe a doctor, then going to a dermatologist, then going to a specialist, just give me a wig, keep it moving. So a lot of people, you know, um, pretty much won't take the time to really dig and try to determine why my hair is not growing. And I think what you're doing is commendable because now we know, now we know there's information out there, there's resources, there's support out there. So I just want to give you the last word and whatever you want to say, you want to say your website, the website, maybe your email again, just so people can have it because you just never know.
Yes. I'm on Instagram and I'm FlyDoll530. Facebook is Darlene Phillips. And again, my email address for my support group is Alopecia, ALOPECIASH 2020 at yahoo.com.
Okay, okay.
And then
And
NAF
the
is
website,
NAAF.org.
okay. Yeah. All right. So we want to thank you, Miss Darlene Phillips, for coming back.
Yeah,
We
thank you.
appreciate you. And maybe, every year, whenever you want to, you have any news or announcements, feel free to come back and keep us informed because we're here to enlighten, educate, and entertain.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for having me again. And
Yeah, absolutely.
be happy to come back. And, it's just to keep it going, to keep the momentum
Yeah,
going, to keep the awareness going. And as we continue to normalize, alopecia, it's not a bad thing. It's just something that we've been handed with. And, for me, it was handed to me. And, I'm going to give back and help others share the same symptoms.
all right. Lay, you want to just bless our guests and bless our audience before we leave?
Yeah, definitely. I like to definitely for our audience, definitely I hope that they will still receive a whole lot of blessings from above, and especially for people that doing for the community. If you read any religious books or anything of that nature, the reason why God have chose prophets because of their people need help. And what this sister here is doing right now, she is helping a lot of God children, and I definitely wish her abundance of blessings.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank
You're definitely
you.
doing the right thing.
yeah. Thank you so
I
much.
have learned something today that I didn't even know.
Yeah,
Well,
and
that's
blessings to our
we
audience.
want to educate for sure.
Yeah,
Put it
yeah.
out there so people are aware. And like I say, it helps me to help others. So keeps
And
me
blessings to
on the
our audience.
run.
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
It keeps me on the run.
Yeah, yeah. It makes you feel good to help
It
other
does.
people.
It
Yeah, it
does.
does. Gives you purpose and determination to. Lay, can you bless the audience this week too?
Yes, for our audience, our fan base, always stay focused. Always remember when things are tough, they're not as tough as we think they are. God said, if you follow me, he will lead you to nowhere but to the top with abundance and blessing. He will not steer us wrong. So always have God first.
Amen. All right.
Yeah.
Now we can go. We're ready for the next week. So Darling, you remember we're gonna peace out, right? I'm
They go
count to three.
welcome.
Yeah. You ready?
Ready.
All right, Lay, you ready?
Yes.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Peace. You got a double portion. Peace. Thank you
Yeah.
guys. Thank you,
Thank
Darlene.
you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you for
Lamb. Thank
having me.
you guys. All right. Peace out.
Peace out.
Hold on, I'm trying to get out. Yes, leave. Oh, man.